Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is David and today we are talking about XRP in regards to they don't want you rich with whatever amount of XRP that you may hold. Whether it be 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, the amount is not relevant. The point is, that's what I want to illustrate in today's video. Obviously not to say that you can't get rich, but the actual why it's being suppressed in my opinion, the whole reasoning for the case. So firstly, let's go back to the origins of Ripple/XRP's disruption. Why do they serve financial institutions? Was that their original game plan? Let's talk about that. Number two, leveling the playing field. Why they're taking a huge chunk of the pie, why that is a problem. Let's talk about that. Number three, the true purpose of the case, Ripple versus SEC. Let's talk about that. A lot of value in today's video. Stay around to the end. Without further ado, here we go. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. So we can see here with the XRP ledger, the history of the XRP ledger. So the development of XRP ledger was started in 2011 by McCaleb, Brito, and Swartz. They were intrigued by the technological genius behind Bitcoin and wanted to create something that improved upon the concept of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. They wanted to create a coin that was more sustainable and built for efficient and painless systems. Now fast forward, the three founders created Ripple and they wanted to build and monetize on the XRP ledger and started by allowing peer-to-peer payments. This became a problem. So fast forward to 2015, we can see FinCEN finds Ripple Labs in first civil enforcement action against a virtual currency exchanger. So they essentially got fined and they weren't allowed to sell XRP to the public and offer consumer-facing services, and so they had to pivot, right? And they were obsessed with creating the internet of value, wanting to move value around the world as easy as information is moved around the world, right? From country to country, from continent to continent. So they decided to pivot towards financial institutions, remittance companies, to allow them to use a blockchain, right? So I want to come back to this. It's very important in regards to the SEC lawsuit later on in the video, but that answers the question of the origins of why they serve financial institutions. Now moving forward to leveling the playing field with correspondent bank fees. To be able to digest this information, we have to recognize the difference between a smaller bank and a bigger bank, right? A lot of people put banks, small banks, into one big box, chuck a label on it. They are different, right? So let's go to smaller local banks. So they are more intimate personal service, community-oriented products and services, more willing to negotiate and work with customers. And large banks usually have over 500 million or more in total assets, and community banks are smaller, usually under $500 million in assets. So let's keep that in mind and go back to the correspondent banking fee. So we can see here, so sometimes known as an agent charge, foreign bank fee, or intermediary bank fee is a fee that's sometimes charged by banks when a third-party bank is needed to send money from one account to another. So if you want to send money from your local bank in your town, city, to another local bank, maybe in Poland, Venezuela, Brazil, it goes through this correspondent banking system from large bank to large bank to large bank, right? Fee after fee after fee. And the disrupting technology, leveling the playing field when it comes to Ripple, blockchain technology solution, they're allowing these smaller banks to be able to speak to each other. So now there is a problem for these financial institutions. On one hand, we have the most efficient product, the most fast product on the market. It's eco-friendly and it is getting rid of these fees. Huge risk to these institutions need to innovate on blockchain immediately. Right, sort of leaning towards a case, which I will go over in a little bit, but I want to pivot towards why it's so ironic for the XRP token, the XRP coin, to be called a banker's coin. Makes zero sense, because essentially bankers hate XRP because it's removing the fees that are in place, essentially making the transfer, the movement of money virtually free. Now let's go towards Swift and Ripple, complementary, against each other, all that sort of stuff involved by Bob Way, Fred, ex-Ripple employee. Let me read some here. Quite a bit to read. Stay with me. So here we have Ripple. Got a lot of mindshare from bank customers who liked new promises that the XRP ledger offered. This interest got reported in the press. The media reports attracted bankers who wanted meetings with us. Further down we can read, the bankers came up impressed enough to take us seriously but not adopt the XRP ledger quickly. Quotation marks, we'd like to be your very first second customer is a real quote a banker's made to me at an early meeting. Banking is a small world, so there's a lot of favorable gossip among bankers, which very quickly caught Swift's attention at the highest levels. This was because Ripple was being reported in the press as a thought leader in banking. This is the mantle leadership of Swift seeks to retain. Remember, the primary job of everyone in banking, far outranking every other responsibility, is do not get fired. which can happen if you appear out of touch. Hence, Ripple saw Swift as complementary, while the leadership of Swift saw Ripple as threatening their relevance. What's interesting, Swift technology and Ripple technology are easily made complementary. Nothing in Ripple's ODL strategy directly competes with Swift's messaging, nor Swift's relevance. This is very interesting, right? Because we obviously can see from Swift's perspective, trying to make Ripple irrelevant when it came to the response with GPII, but not to compete with Ripple. Stay tuned, this all leads to my last point, with it all being planned, or whatever you want to call it, right? I don't want to get sued or whatever. But here we have Ashish Birla. Further down we can see here. So, previous employee at Ripple, general manager. It says here on Crunchbase 2013 to 2020. On other sources, it says 2022 end date. We'll take Crunchbase for what it is. So here we have podcast with Peter Renton on the 27th of November 2020. A little part I want to read down here in response to a question. So further down, yeah. So let's dig into RippleNet because I think it's super interesting concept, and obviously the way you've moved money around the world hasn't changed much. How's the difference to the existing system, and who's actually using it right now? So, great question. So you know, the way that money moves today is really quickly is 80% of cross-border flows through 3 mega banks. That's HSBC, Citibank, JP Morgan, and you trust those banks to move money for you. So we can see a monopoly of banks here, 80% going through these 3 mega banks controlling the playing field, not wanting the playing field being leveled by Ripple. You know, giving opportunity to thousands. Even you think about other situations, if someone's moved from a third or second world country to a first world country, they're earning money, they want to send it back to their family. There's a long process involved and there's fees involved. It needs to be sorted out. Now, let's think from their perspective, right? What is the solution? Can we create a copycat of the XRP ledger? Well, they tried that. So we can see. Do you think a copycat XRP ledger has been tried by the big banks? Matt Hamilton, ex-Ripple employee. Swift did attempt to do something like that. It was using Corda IIRC. But their main takeaway was, this doesn't work without a public token. No, it does not. This is insane. They actually tried to do a copycat version. We can also see here. So in recent news, trying to combat this tech, what can we do to stop it or, sort of compete, right? So here we have November 2022, NY Fed launches digital dollar pilot program with big banks based on distributed ledger technology. So further down, we can read, so we can see all these banks involved here. So the pilot will be conducted in a test environment and will use the technology provided by SATL and Digital Asset. Now, if you go to the About section, see who's, chief engineer, chief executive officer, everyone involved. You can see head of payments, Marjan. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce her name, Marjan, right? Head of payments. Now, she previously worked at Swift, 8 years and 9 months. Business director at Swift, 1 year and 2 months, and she was a global head of banking at Ripple for 3 years and 6 months, then moved to SETL. It seems pretty clear what has happened here. I don't know the full story, but to me, the lawsuit is not just a mere lawsuit, right? Especially the shift we're seeing right now for the financial system. The timing of everything, the case still not being over. It seems like the case was perpetuated to slow Ripple down, to slow the whole space down itself, so that they were ready to regulate and then step in. A lot of people think that Ripple are involved. It's all smoke and mirrors. There's some involved. I don't know if I'm fully on board with that one. It's done a huge lot of damage to the XRP ecosystem and just everything involved. But I have true faith in Ripple and XRP, and I believe the purpose of the case to be faulty, right? To slow the system down, but I believe in the long term, in the long run, XRP is going to do fine and Ripple is going to do okay. Lastly, I want to reference back to FinCEN here to a settlement, right? This how important this is to the actual case currently today, right? Because not only, I will have this down below for you guys to check out, the Ripple have to register as an MSB, they had to get a third-party auditor approved by FinCEN to audit the XRP sales of the past 5 years. They had to submit these audits. So let's get this straight, right? Let's get this straight. They got attacked with a case. It was a settlement. They got deemed a convertible virtual currency, and they got fined. They had to follow these certain rules, which they followed, and they got sued again. I don't think that, it's just funny, right? It proves my finalized point, the real, true intentions behind the case. Know what you hold, people, with XRP. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found some value. If you did, potentially join Discord. Link is down below. We have an XRP chat. We talk about XRP, we talk about crypto, everything involved, all the cryptos that we talk about on the channel. But this is for the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.